Python namespace and scope. What is Python name? A Python name is an identifier, something we use to access a Python object. And in Python, everything's an object. This is an example. Here, rank is the name associated with the Python object 1. To get this object's address in RAM, we use the id function. To take a slightly more complex example, we store 2 in a name a. Then, we increment it by 1 and associate the name b to the object 2. We keep checking the ID as we go. Analysis to the Python name. As you can see, when we set a to 3 and set b to 2, b starts pointing to the object a once pointed to. It does not have to create another object to hold 2 for b. This dynamic name binding is powerful. Also, a name can hold any kind of value. Finally, since everything is an object, so are Python functions. Consequently, you can associate them with names. Here, we associate the name identity with the built-in function ID. Check the following code and figure out what's happening. Since the function does not return anything, we get an object of class none type. Of course, none is an object that indicates no value. Did function say hello, return a value, things would be different. Let's take another example. What is Python name? A namespace in Python is a collection of names. So, a namespace is essentially a mapping of names to corresponding objects. At any instant, different Python namespaces can coexist completely isolated. The isolation ensures that there are no name collisions. Simply speaking, 2 namespaces in Python can have the same name without facing any problem. A namespace is implemented as a Python dictionary. When we start the interpreter, a Python namespace is created for as long as we don't exist. This holds all built-in names. It is due to this that Python functions like print and id are always available. Also, each module creates its own global namespace in Python. When you call a function, a local Python namespace is created for all the names in it. A module has a global namespace. The built-in namespace encloses this. What is Python variable scope? A namespace is in variable scope in a part of a program, if it lets you access the Python namespace without having to use a prefix. At any instant, we have at least 3 nested Python scopes. 1. Current function's variable scope has local names. 2. Module's variable scope has global names. 3. The outermost variable scope has built-in names. Analysis to the Python name. Let's take an example. In this code, a is in the global namespace in Python. B is in the local namespace of func1. And C is in the nested local Python namespace of func2. To func2, C is local, B is non-local, and A is global. By non-local, we mean it isn't global, but isn't local either. Of course, here, you can write C and read both B and C. But you can't access a, that would create a new local variable a. See this example. To deal with this situation, we can use the global and non-local keywords.